I'm Sanjay Arora, working as a business director with Wazir Advisors. So Wazir Advisors is a management consulting firm working in the field of textiles, apparels, complete textile value chain and retail. And we have worked on this presentation wherein what is happening in Indian textile industry, what is happening in global textile industry, and what is the impact of Indian and export in what is the impact on Indian and Indian industry due to this domestic market shutdown, domestic lockdown and exports lockdown. So what we are saying that Indian apparel industries approximately will shrink by roughly around 35%. So I'll present to you that how we are coming to that way. So we are saying that it's a domestic market scenario, apparel export scenario, summary and way forward. So domestic market scenario, if we come, so 40-day lockdown is already over and next third phase has been started. So if we see from first case on 30th January, now it is almost crossed for 55,000 or 54,000. And so if we see that projections of GDP for India, earlier it was said that India will grow at a 4.2% as per IMF, but now it is going, some are saying that it's a -1% or 0.5%. So projections are that after slowdown, even in last few years, Indian economy is expected to recover. Earlier it was said that recover in financial year this 20, but now this coronavirus has made recovery extremely different. And if we see that what is happening, how this consumption pattern will change, this duration. One is that duration of lockdown, second is the pace of market recovery, and third is the demand seasonability. So if we see that LD40, which is now already over, which we says that, okay, jaan bachi to lakho paye. LD40 means 40 days lockout. And even now this partial opening is there. So customer is coming out with the optimistic like, okay, jaan bach gayi, let's go out, start some shopping. Then comes the LD70, where he says that jaan hai to jahan hai, means okay, I am saved, but there is a salary cut, no payments, so that will give you a difficulty for him to go and buy the things. So which is more realistic kind of a scenario which we are seeing. We are saying that this is an LD70, and then it comes that LD100, where we are saying that the lockdown is there till June 30th, which doesn't seem that it is going, but we don't know as on what will happen. At that time when customer will come, he will say that jaan nikal gayi, because it's a very long term. So now what will happen when the duration of this lockdown will increase, the recovery period will increase drastically. I'll show you that. When that after 40 days, that consumer is coming out, so recovery period is only 30 days. So total impacted days are 70 days. But now we are falling in LD70, somewhere in between LD40 and LD70, where lockdown period is around 70 days and recovery period is 45 days. So total period, if we see, 115 days. Then case is the worst case scenario. When that lockdown period is of 100 days, then the recovery period will be of 75 days. So total 175 days. 175 days means even our all festive seasons are also gone. Even Diwali, Onam, that kind of things are also gone. So now the recovery pace will vary across segment. Like apparel recovery will be very fast, and for the cars recovery will be very low. Home textiles recovery will be mediate. Footwear, it will be mediocre. And then consumer durable electrical, okay, it's somewhat mid. Utility requirement on regular basis of need, durability, unit cost, so all these are the factors. So now seasons have a different impact across the segment. Like apparel, currently when we say that currently in Q1, apparel sales is almost very lower, because we don't have this any festival in this season, we don't have any marriages in this season. So apparel sales will be by nature itself is less. in Q1. That is basically April, May, June. July, August, September, it is moderate, and it is max. Apparel sales will come and it's on its peak in the Q3, when October, November, December, when festival season and marriage season starts. So if we go by that factor, so already we are into that month when the apparel sales is least, and our lockdown is also in that period. So impact on textiles on volume term will not be that much as compared to other things. So in apparel also, if we see pace recovery of other category wise will vary, like casual wear, ethnic wear, kids lounge wear or inner wear. This category will again recover very fast, and we'll say that there is one more category is going to develop, which will be comfort casuals, because since everyone is now sitting at home working from home, they might not be having that comfortable casuals or smart casuals which we can use for work from home kind of a culture, where everyone is all working on video calls with so many apps are now there. So this is there. Now coming to the jeans. Okay. Jeans on an average, and every Indian buys only a one jeans or even less than a one jean per year, as compared to US, where everyone individual buys 8 to 9 jeans. So the requirement will be moderate. And formal wear, since everyone is at home only, sitting at home, and the requirement of formal wear will be less, recovery on is less. Party and evening wear, gown wear, occasional wear is even lower than the formal wear, because people will not move that forward, go fast on attending events or something like that. So basis on this thing, we have projected a scenario where different consumptions are there. So like in April month, there is almost nil consumption of apparel. Then in May, we are saying that, okay, 40% consumption will come, because in many cities, like in many states and cities, opening up is already there. Green zones are there. So recovery is projected scenario wise, LD 40, 70 and 100. So on broader level, we are saying that apparel market, now it's on retail price, apparel retail will reduce from 20 to 48%. Depending upon the 3 different scenarios. In market terms, roughly from 15 billion to 35 billion will be lost because of this scenarios. Now coming back to the value of production. So around 7.5 billion to 17 billion of production at mill level or at a factory level is lost because of these different scenarios. So currently we are somewhere in between 7.5 to 11.5 billion, that kind of a thing, because 40 days is already over and we have not gone on to 70 days. Similarly, we have done analysis of export analysis also, because in US, Europe, all of the market are closed. So duration, again in exports also, duration of lockdowns in key market is a major factor, and then economic situation in key markets. So now there is one major factor is that US and EU are the key market that account 60% of global apparel imports. Also 60% of Indian apparel exports are to only these 2 markets. So 60% of our market which we export is already in shutdown condition. And if you see that stores in US and Europe will remain almost for 3 to 4 months. They started closing from initial first and second week of March, and now we are seeing that from first week of May, and stores are opening up, and partial lockdown will exist till June, mid of June or start of June. So in totality, 3 to 4 months of period is where the markets or stores are closed. So what is happening to their GDPs? So earlier it was projected that EU will grow at a 1.7% and US will grow at a 2.3%. Whereas now it has come, IMF has projected that EU will be down by -7% around, and US will be down by almost 6%. But there are worst case scenarios where it is said that 16%, EU will go down by 16% and US will go down by almost 15%. But still, if we consider that around 7% and 6% is the drop in GDP, and it has a long, very huge numbers. Second thing, that US market, now coming to the recovery point, US market will recover faster than the EU. There are certain points why we are saying that. First is that age-wise population, if we see, so EU is having higher percentage of people who are more than 50 years old. Secondly, EU market is where capitalism kind of thing is not there as compared to US market, where in US market you will see the trend is that after every season people used to change their wardrobes, their all that home textiles, and currently being this year is a US election year, lot of money is coming in the hands of US people also, and once the market will open, they will surely come and they will spend. And if you see that per capita GDP also in US, it's around $62,795 as compared, it's in EU, it's only $35,600. So recovery in US market will be very fast. Again, similar plotting we have done that in April, sales is happening. Sales is happening in that way that online platforms are selling the apparels. Offline stores are closed, but online platforms are selling that apparels. So some amount of sale is going on apparel. If we see recovery in US will be much faster. From 10% in July, it will straight directly go to 75%, 90%, and then 100%. Whereas in Europe, it is 5%, 5%. Here, July, Europe is opening up already. So here the recovery is 25%. But looking at the consumption pattern of that US and Europe will go from 25% to 50%. So plotting this in on average consumption level. So average consumption in US will be around 63% and average consumption in EU will be roughly around 59%. So what we say is that US market will drop by roughly 50% and EU market will drop by roughly 40% and EU market will drop by 45%. So out of that, 37% is reduction due to store closure and then due to GDP shrinkage also. So US and EU, they both import roughly around 122 billion apparels. And this apparel import is vanished from these markets. So what is the impact if we consider the same thing, that $280 billion which they were importing, it will come down to roughly $158 billion. So total loss of 122, in which US will be losing around roughly 34 billion and EU will be losing around $88 billion of this apparel. So there are changes that buyer will increasingly look to replace China. So we are saying that there are probably three scenarios. One is the scenario one where China loses its market share and China does not loses its market share. In China loses its market share also, then there are other two scenarios. One is that most probable scenario which we say is that Vietnam and Bangladesh emerge as a gainer. India doesn't gain a share. But scenario two is that India also gains some market share due to whatever that government and industry jointly will come forward to gain that. And third strategy, it can be like that China plays again its price card wherein they reduce the price and then they again the market share will remains unchanged. So now there is one more aspect to this market is that for this second half of 2020, when the market will open up, the season will be of autumn winters wear, where India expertise is almost negligible. We are not present into that particular category. So scenario, that is the main reason that scenario one, why that Vietnam and Bangladesh emerge as a gainer. Scenario two can occur only when India exporters improve their competitiveness in the core categories to focus on the product diversification like winter wear and synthetic garment. So in short term, it seems to be a bit difficult, but yes, there are possibilities. So we have calculated on all these scenarios, like what will happen in scenario 1, what will happen in scenario 2. So almost if we see that China is losing in scenario 1, which is most likely China loses its share, but India is not able to gain. So export value for European Union, China share will from 34%, it will, just a second. So if we come on total from 16.25, we will get a maximum only $9.1 billion, which is roughly 45% fall in our share. In scenario 2, where we will also get some share, it's a 25% and no change, so we'll maintain our share of 35%. So what is the summary? If we say both from domestic and exports, so Indian apparel industry is likely to shrink by roughly 35% in from 53 billion to roughly, most likely scenario is that 35. Pessimistically, if we say that yes, we will also gain some share, so it's 30%, and otherwise it's 42. So most likely India will lose worse than market average. Pessimistic scenario says that India's share remains unchanged, and optimistic is that India will gain share vacated by China. So now coming to the major thing which actually market wants, what is happening and what will happen. So we are seeing that, and there is a change in consumer trends are there. So what consumer changes are there? That health, hygiene and safety is in the top concern of the consumers market. More online presence, cutting down on discretionary expenditure, and need of home wardrobe, comfortable, smart casual, which I was talking. So like if you see that Japan and China, people wearing mask is a very common thing. Now that you think you will see across the globe, that will become a common thing. More presence online. There is a report which we saw that around more than 2,500 stores are being permanently closed in US by these big brands. These brands will now sell directly through online. Even in India also, we are seeing that all these big brands, we are in discussion with many of these brands. They are trying to increase their presence online. One, through these channels like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, and then they are now planning to develop their own exclusive websites also, which is already there, but they will promote it more. And so consumer wise, there is a strong message is there. Yes, hygiene is on the top priorities. Spending is going to be, behavioral changes there. New categories will develop like home wardrobe, where comfortable smart casuals are required. Retail trend already we have discussed, like the rapid growth of e-commerce will be there. And everyone is now seeing that the slow fashion is gaining again, that term. Slow fashion says that if suppose some jacket has been produced, it is there for 2 months on the shelf or 1 month on the shelf. It doesn't mean that after 2 months, I am going to discard that jacket. Custom consumer won't discard that jacket. He'll keep there for another 6 months. So stores are also going for that way. Brands are also going for that way. Okay, we have produced this garment, which has even not seen by the persons. It is lying in there either at the containers or in their store, in the warehouses. Show it to the consumers. So that slow fashion is going. Even I was going on a LinkedIn and other websites. Hashtag slow fashion is also now trending. Now the sourcing trend is also, we are seeing a very big change, and every day news are coming like 1,000 companies wants to come out from the China. Even we are receiving calls from a couple of companies, even real estate companies. They are saying that we want to develop a textile park kind of a thing, how we can attract those companies. We are receiving calls from many that is spinners or weavers also, weaving companies also. Okay, that China, many companies from China wants to come out. How can we join hands with them? This is a very good scenario where the Indian promoters themselves are coming out to take that opportunity. But so this is the trend. So we can see that there may be technical collaboration going on. It's not necessary that only all joint ventures will be there. Some technical collaborations will be there. Digital solutions of contactless interactions These kinds of things will be there. And then there is a product trends is also coming out. Like there are many home textile companies now, they are offering whatever their bed sheets or towels or whatever their range are there, that is antimicrobial finish. And circular textiles they are talking, sustainable fiber dyes technology. So this kind of product trends you will see. Even these antimicrobial finishes, anti-mist finish, you will see not only in this home textiles, it will come into formal wear everywhere now, because everyone is concerned about these things. And all that business has to retune them, all business has to retune themselves on these four trends: consumer, how consumer is behaving, how retail is behaving, how sourcing is going to happen, how that they need to derive their design or modify their products. So coming to the focus area for Indian textile and apparel industry, one, we can say that the share consolidating core categories. I'll come on to individual point in a very short. Product diversification, anchor-led growth textile, export market diversification, product expansion and business consolidation with existing buyers. So coming to the share in consolidated categories. If you see that certain categories are there, like cotton-made t-shirts, India is having 6% share globally in exports, which is a very huge share. Similarly, men's or boys' t-shirts of cotton, dresses of synthetic fiber for women, 7% share. Baby's garment made of cotton, 10% share. Women's top of cotton, 13% share. So in all these categories, our share exists from roughly around 6 to 14%. And majorly, they all are cotton-based and women's top and women's dresses. So these are the category where buyer buys from India. These are those categories where buyer buys from India. We are competitive and also. So now what we have to do, we have to go on manufacturing excellence like smart factories to improve productivity and cost competitiveness so as to first maintain our share in current less market, I'll say that less market, and increase our share also. So this is our key strength of some of these categories where India is very strong. So we have to consolidate in these categories. Second comes, again in these three categories, three-way virtual integration we are saying. Now what is virtual integration? Like in India, there are natural clusters. Like Surat is a natural cluster of textile, Ludhiana is a natural cluster of textile, Tirupur is a natural cluster, Panipat is a natural cluster, where one person does the spinning, second person does the weaving, third person does the dyeing, fourth person does the stitching, and then it goes to the market. So already it's there. But now when we have to look for the export market, these big brands and these buyers, they cannot go to these small factories. Anchor-led model can come where all these three suppliers, a person who is with the garment, like a weaving company who is supplying fabric, he has to coordinate with the garmenter that how I can help you in increasing your productivity or making samples more fast. That kind of a virtual integration is required. If I'll think that only I am manufacturer of a fabric and it is his job or a garmenter's job to do the exports, then we cannot grow. Once the garmenter will grow, then only weaving will grow, then only spinning will grow. So all we have to do that, we have to virtually integrate our models in that way that this is my business, but I have to help my client also to increase his competitiveness so that he can export more or he can sell more. Similarly, what we say that when I was discussing in China, that one company does a $4.2 billion exports, one company. When we were discussing, he told me that they are doing manufacturing only around 1 billion garment in their own factory. But balance 3.1 billion garment, they are outsourcing it from the other's factory. So they are virtually integrated because those buyers don't have capacity to do export, meet the exporters, that kind of a thing. So in this three-way integration model. Everyone has to consider that the other business is also my business. If he will grow, then only we will grow. Then there are certain categories like activewear and sportswear, where India is importing huge quantities of fabrics. So value chain consolidation needs to be done, like tie up with the existing players to convert for export and domestic market. These big brands, they are producing in India, garmenting in India, where fabric is being imported, and then they are supplying to domestic market. Why these brands cannot source from India, even with, if fabric is not available, we'll import the fabric and then supply to the other part of the world, like what Bangladesh does. Started in that way only. There was even today also there is no fabric is limited, woven is limited. So Indians can import the fabric, they can convert it, and then they can sell it. So that, like this activewear and sportswear is a category. Coming to next to this, there are certain categories which are very huge. If we see like knitted pullovers, man-made fiber, women's, girls, then men's and boys, trousers, shorts, synthetic, all these category, if you see synthetic, and the global trade is of huge 26 billion, 1 and 11 billion, these kind of thing. And just see the share, 0.3%, 0.9%, less than 0.1%. So these are the categories where the share is very less. Indian share is very less. So we need investment in these kind of categories. And we are hoping that in medium term, this investment will come, and in medium term, we'll see that companies will grow in these categories also, and Indian exports will also grow. Then anchor-led growth of synthetic textiles, wherein all these big synthetic companies, producer needs to develop a model wherein all that supply and development of this market will be done by them. Then export market diversification, if we see, we have very good relationship with Japan. They import roughly around $28 billion of apparel, and import from India is around only $300 million. That is even less than 1%. Korea 1%, Canada 3%, Switzerland 4%, Russia 3%, Australia 3%. Why we are less in that market? Like in Japan, there are only two criteria are there. First, consistency in quality, and second, consistency in delivery. Where consistency in delivery, India lags a lot. Delivery schedule is the thing which we need to follow. So now again, it's on a very country level. Individual company has to think how they can, if they are good enough in quality, they can meet the requirements of Japan, then how they can be more consistent in delivery. Similarly, each individual market needs to be explored by individual company. So these are some of the guidelines wherein we can see there is a lot of potential is there. Potential in synthetic market, categories where synthetic is more used, potential in these countries, and then potential for more competitiveness in the existing market, we need to develop. And then the last point where we are saying that we are already supplying to India is basically supplying to M&S, Uniqlo, H&M, Zara, and all these companies have their stores in India also. When they are buying from India for Indian market, why can't they buy for other markets from India? Or if they are buying, say, X amount, why can't even we emphasize, our companies emphasize more to increase their share into other markets? So these are some of the things that we need to do. So overall, we see that market will come back very soon. Already it has started coming. Mills have started operating. Garmenting companies have started operating. Now we need to work with individual companies. Individual company needs to think on their own, that this year, instead of looking at the profit or a loss, they should look at how to maintain their share or increase their share. So this is a business where profit and loss are there, but maintaining their share with the client is most important thing at this stage. Thank you.